Coach Miguel, congratulations on the win, emphatic win, if I may say. Just your thoughts on the game.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presence. Sometimes results in the end, when they get some expression, they obviously are the result of the work of the players, but also it doesn't mean that the game was an easy game. It was not an easy game. It had its moments. We worked a lot in order to score after. First half quite tricky, a different approach as we expected from the one we expected from our opponent. They changed the structure, they closed much more the spaces, and they were in a lower block than we expected. So we had to adapt ourselves. It was difficult in the beginning. We even without substitutions, we tried immediately to change some things because we understood that we needed to aggress more their defensive line. We tried to, when we changed Codisang from the in-between lines to the right, so we tried to create immediately some tactical different approach. But it was clear that we needed more aggressivity in the front. That's the moment we took Peter in the pitch. That worked out nicely because we started to aggress more, and we scored, and that gave us obviously an emotional positive moment to the halftime, where we organized ourselves regarding what was happening in the pitch and what we wanted for the second half. So second half started. I think we didn't start so aggressive as we could have been. But then we scored second goal, and I decided to rebalance the team, again come with the three midfielders, and from there the team deblocked the game, and it was very beautiful the way we finished the game by very high quality football we showed in the second half. So very happy for the effort of the boys. Hard work from everybody regarding the tactical approach on the game. So mission accomplished, recover and prepare the next one.
Coach Lorenzo from Mkhulise, I know you've explained now what you've done tactically, why you made that change, but obviously it's not easy for a player to come off after 36 minutes. Do you just share a message with him saying it's no hard feelings, nothing personal, we had to make this change? How did you navigate that situation? Because no player likes to be substituted in the first half.
Yeah, but any moment a player goes out, or many of the moments a player goes out, it doesn't mean that he's bad on the match. It's a tactical approach, and the values of the team should be much stronger than individual values. That's how I approach the things. So obviously at halftime I told Pizzo, look Pizzo, you came out not because we were playing bad, but we needed to approach the game in a different way. Because if I knew that the approach from the opponent would be the one that was settled on the pitch, probably I also would have started the game in a different way. So nothing on the work of Pizzo. It was a decision. So absolutely cool regarding that. By the way, I can make it clear that I can take it even in my hands, because during the week I spoke with the team, so that we cleared that and we closed that. There's no issues regarding Pizzo or ever transfer on him. Pizzo is a player from the club. We like him so much. We trust him. He has been playing in the team. So finish that dossier so that there's no more speaking about. And also because there was information on me that also regarding Peter there were some talks. There's nothing. What was done on the market inside the club was clearly done on the best interest of the club and the players. Because many of the movements that happened have not only to do with our intention, but also from the appeals that we received from the players. And that's how the market should work and how a club should work. Regarding the happiness of a football player, because a football player is also a man, and when he's not happy because he's not playing, we should also respect that. For example, Rushin clearly asked, let me go to play, I need to play, I want to play, and that's why we made a movement on him. For example, I can also speak about Libo, who is a wonderful person, who's so well in our group, it's an important one. He also asked, he said, Coach, I want to go to play so that I can perform for you to see me, and I want to come back on the club. So we did it, we gave him this opportunity. So just to make it clear that the market is also a product of what we analyze regarding the satisfaction of the group, the club first of all, but also from the players individually that they want to give steps on their career in different ways.
Thank you for the openness, Coach.
Coach, my name is Mkhulise from Supersport. I wanted to ask you, most coaches, when we talk to them here, they say looking at the next match only. But if I look at your program, you've got 14 games, I think, until the next international window. It's mad. How are you, do you spend a lot of time trying to navigate that? Do you plot a lot now? I'll give him one, I'll skip him for two. I mean, is there a lot of work in the overall context, or are you one of these coaches who, next game only, please?
It's so important that you ask me that question, because I think we should make a deep analysis on the situation, on the best interest of South African football, because I don't think that the national team of South Africa will benefit from the schedule, and I also don't think that the teams that are competing internationally on the CAF competitions will benefit from the schedule that we have ahead of us. So it's an appeal also for PSL, so that in the next season the championship can start early in the season, obviously giving the time needed after the World Championship, so that the teams can have a minimum rest and then in chain the next season. But what happened this season cannot happen again, because we will suffer for sure. And how we will suffer? The level of injuries, the number of injuries will increase a lot. It's obvious that we need to manage training sessions in such a way, or basically we don't train, we just recover. We need to have higher or bigger groups of players. Obviously we try to reduce our group, but we also understood that regarding the schedule we can't do it. We can't, because there will be problems. We cannot avoid that, having more problems. It's not Sundowns problem, it's not it's South African problem. Is teams that play with this frequency will have statistically more injuries, so should prevent. We saw Guardiola speaking this season about that. Next year he must have a squad much bigger, because he cannot cope with the calendar. So my work and the work of the coaches that have this kind of schedules is dramatic. It's dramatic. It's exciting at the same time, but obviously dramatic. I was before I came here, I spoke with two good friends I have, one of them with experiences, both of them with experiences in Brazil. And they were telling there the calendar is crazy, playing in 3 days successively and with big troubles. But when I go back, I'll tell them that here is even worse, because it's even worse. Having 14 matches, as you're saying, or looking the calendar until the end of March is dramatic. So obviously that you cannot look too much in the front, because you never know what will happen in the next game. Today we had an intention and we could not follow it, because it was clear that the game was asking for things, and I needed to do it, because I cannot, and that's the clear, I cannot think on the next one before I play this one, because I need the weapons. I need the weapons to win the games. When you get the result, you start to think how I can manage it. And I can tell you that I told Teboho, for example, just hold your position and pass the ball as much as possible. I told Allende the same, and I wanted so much to take out players that I even was going to make another substitution when I had no more substitutions to make, because my brain betrayed myself. It's hard. And I finished the game and I wanted to give day off tomorrow to the boys. I was thinking I should give them day off. But you need to recover them, and you need to have recovery procedures. And you need to work with the other ones to have them all at the same level. Yesterday afternoon, we made a friendly match with the guys that were not on the bench today, so that we can have them all in the condition, because I know we'll have to rotate players. But the answers or the questions will come from the games you are going to play one after the other. Because playing today Golden Arrows or play Supersport on Wednesday, the level is the same. There's no easy matches on PSL. You cannot take... what we try is to elevate the level of all our players, make them believe that we trust them. Today we put Zuko to play. I just took him out because I felt that there was a fall he did. He had already a yellow card and I was afraid to lose him. We cannot lose players, so I took him immediately out. Because we need everybody in the moment, because I don't know who will fall down. But someone will fall down. It's impossible not to happen. Obviously, it's our work to reduce as much as possible that. We've been working on that for a long time in terms of injury prevention. For example, this pitch there in Polokwane where we played is dramatic for injuries, is not a good pitch. This week, we tried to seduce people to make the grass here very small, so that it doesn't get too soft, so that the players reduce the risk of injuries. And it's also a word for PSL. Please start obliging the teams to water the pitches. so that the pitches are quicker, so that the players don't get the foot so stuck. Like we had an injury with the Mudau in that pitch over there because he got stuck. When he made a rotation, it was so soft, he entered so much on the grass that he could not handle the rotation of the body because his foot was stuck on the grass. So these kind of things are dramatic, and we had to cope with them. We try to reduce as much as possible the injuries, and eventually here and then we need to manage fatigue also. We need to have a clear sign and honesty from the players telling I need to rest, and then we'll have to cope with that. What I expect is that the players that will enter the team can perform in a good level, give a good answer, and that we can manage results, of course, because you cannot think about winning Pirates that we're going to play Sunday or Saturday before we play Super Sport, because it's 3 points. So we need to focus on the result on the next match and then deal with the context.
Okay, we'll take the last round of questions. I think Coach gave a thorough answer there.
Coach, I want to ask you about Lorch. He's gone on loan to Wydad. Just how important is it, when you get such an opportunity to go on loan and impress you as well, and his future at the club? You see him as someone who's still here. And the signing of Suarez, how much of a role did you play in it?
All the decisions taken by the club were taken in accordance between me and the sports direction, so the group of coaches and the sports direction. So there was no decision. Suarez, I watched him a long time ago. So as soon as we started discussing with Sundowns, and it was clear that I was coming here, we analyzed that player. Regarding Lorch, as you might imagine, he was not happy also here, and it's important that the players can be happy, and we cannot sustain players that are not in the context, in the environment where they feel they can perform. And sometimes it's very important to give them the air they need to breathe so that they can express and also have the game time that they need to play. Because Lorch is not a young player. In the last years, he has played not that much. So it was important to let him go. And I called him. I spoke with all the players after every decision was finalized. I called them all. I called Niku, Lesiva, I called to Lebo, so I spoke with all of them, and completely in peace regarding all options we did. Everybody's happy, and that is the most important thing, that everybody's happy. Because we work with men that are not only football players, they are men. They have families, they have kids. And for example, with Lesiva, I told him, hey guy, it's time for you to go. Because you cannot arrive home and you don't have your family happy. Your kids don't give you, Papa, you played, what's happening? No, people need to have lives. And I'm happy that things work out in the right way so that they follow their path and they can have a place where they're going to be happy. Because everybody is a human being and we should respect that. And that's what we do for sure in Sundowns.
Coach, congrats on the win. Maybe a two-part question. Firstly, today, and especially in the second half, was it the best you've seen from this group since you got here? And how pleasing was seeing them playing the good stuff that they played, which is normally what the Sundowns fans appreciate and they are used to? And secondly, how difficult is it to consistently leave out Peter out? Because I think you normally prefer to play one lone striker. And then, when he comes in, most of the times he delivers the goals.
Very good. Two questions. I think we had many games that we played nicely. The games don't have the same story; they have different stories. First game we played with Raja. How many emotions there were there on that decisive game that we had to win at home, and I think the team performed very well on that game. Then I remember the game with Stellenbosch away. We made a very nice game over there, and it's also important that you remember we played many games or several games with 10 players. We lost Ronan when we played the Richards Bay, I think. Then we lost in Raja away, we lost players. Then we got again, so we had several games we played with 10 in some moments. Then we made a wonderful game with Asfar. I think we managed a wonderful game on that. Last game of Cup, we finished the game with 10 players that are not used to play so regularly, nothing to say. There are matches you just need to do it, point. The statistical side of the game is important, but the important is that you manage contexts. And playing in this schedule is completely different than playing in a normal schedule, because you have time to prepare tactically the games, to build the team. I have it until the moment we have 28 training sessions. half of them are recovery training sessions. So basically I have 14 training sessions where I had opportunity to build a team. This week, we had 3 training sessions, 4 training sessions to build a team. So we had opportunity to make a week cycle where we worked everything that we wanted in the behaviors of the team. But to grow a team in the level, I think that this team is going to grow, we need consistency. But consistency on the impact of the stimulus of training. That is something we're not getting. So it's also important that we get results, and we are getting them. So I hope the team will grow, because playing is also training. And the video analysis meetings are also trainings. So are also stimulus of growth. What we need is to continue the way, and also use the moments that we feel that is what we want, so that highlight them and make them understand the way we're going to proceed. It's a tough job, but wonderful.
And Peter?
Regarding Peter, nothing to say. Peter is a player we trust so much, but basically we trust everybody. He's been giving answers. Today I called him before the match started. I called him on the side, and I told him, Peter, please just understand one thing. If you're not gonna play today, it's because eventually you're gonna play tomorrow. And it's true, we don't use regularly a structure with 2 strikers, but we already used, because this team is not a system team. It's a team that can perform in different systems. And today you saw we played basically in 3 different systems during the 90 minutes, clearly for different organizations. And we already played with 2 strikers. So it can happen that we'll approach games with 2 guys in the front. And it can be both him, but we also have Arthur, that, for example, in Magesi, he entered, we played with 2, and it was so wonderful because he brought very good things on the team. Important is not if you play regularly. The importance is that you are willing to make the good things for the team in the right moments. Because Peter has been scoring goals after goals in the last 4 games, but we should not forget that Ikram, when we arrived, scored in a row in 4 or 5 games also goals. And when they play together, there are good things that happen, but when we play with other players, also other things happen that are important. So we need to approach the games and the different moments and read what the game is asking. Sometimes it's very tough for me, but we are reading, permanently reading. And my job is just to help them. Okay, now the game asks this, let's give. In the second half, the game was asking for a 3rd midfielder. And we put it a 3rd midfielder, and the game, poof, it was like a flourished. So this is also the job we need to do as coaches. Sometimes we are well succeeded, sometimes we don't help, we just make, okay. But I try to reduce as much as possible my mistakes and make good choices so that we can help the players, because we need to help them, that's our job.
Coach, I'm sure this week, like you said, you had 3 sessions, training sessions. It must have been interesting because you've gotten 2 very different midfielders in what you had previously, in terms of Jaden and Mateus coming back. They're completely different profiles to Debza, Ailende, Mkhulise, more attacking a 10 type of role. How important is that going to be for your objectives this season? You have 8 that are really attacking.
Yeah, it's also a very good question, because in the end, a coach depends on the quality of the players, and as much as the players can suit the idea of game you have, the best. And I think it was missing on this group of players, some player with the characteristics of Matthias Esquivel. Eventually having a player with the characteristics of Cupido can also help us to bring something different. Jaden can give us also other things. We will manage we have Neo, don't forget, we have Albas, don't forget. We also have players that are injured that will bring things on the team. Let them come quick so that we can manage more the schedule that we have ahead. And it's then our choice to put the right ones according to the context that we think we're going to face. And then during the game, when the context changes, also read who can come in and bring something. But basically we are happy, obviously, with the group that we have. And we'll try our best to make them better players in the future also.
Lorenz, I covered on the Derby question.
Maybe just a reflection on what's coming this week.
Okay. Can you ask the question?
Okay, Coach, I think you have got a big week. So it's only Derby and Pirates at the weekend. How do you approach this one?
I don't worry in the moment nothing about Pirates. I just worry about Supersport. So from today now, I told before I came here, I told my assistant coaches, please see the players we have for tomorrow for the training session. call the coach from second team to see who can join ourselves, so that we have 20 players to train and to make progression on the team and the players that didn't train or didn't play today, because we need to bring everybody up. So tomorrow we have a 20 players training session, we have a recovery, we prepare Super Sport. When finish Super Sport, we'll worry about what's coming after.
Can I ask a quick personal question? You obviously have some knowledge of South African football from last year, your Esperance experience. You've had a lot of jobs in different places. What have you made of SA football? Is it better than you thought it was? Is it worse? Is it? Have you been a little bit surprised? Not surprised?
Our football here in South Africa.
Just the whole South African scene, football-wise.
No, I'm pretty satisfied with the level I found here in general. I'm highly satisfied with what I found in Sundowns, because I found a great spirit that we need to permanently feed so that it keeps going on, because the group is changing also, people entering. So we need to give the values that the club has to everybody, so that we share the brotherhood we want to have in the locker room, because that is basically the base of the growth of the spirit that allows to achieve victories, that the past was clear, and we have to keep on going on it. I think the team can perform more and more, and with time that will happen naturally. The connection between ourselves is very good, not only as well in general, so also fantastic. Regarding the South African football, I'm also nice because the stadiums are good. I just highlight 2 or 3 things that I think can be the cherry on the top of the cake to make the football better. As I said, take care of the grass, make regulations on the watering the pitch, because as I told that already, and I repeat, football is a product that we sell. I think South African football has wonderful matches. We saw this Kaizer Chiefs Pirates, this derby is what a game. This game should be sold worldwide, and to do it, we need to promote the South African football internationally. I'm speaking not only about Africa. I'm speaking taking it to Europe. Why not? People love football, so why not? If we import football from Europe, why not sell our football? So, and we have wonderful matches. I believe that next weekend we'll have another wonderful match that can be sold. But we need to promote the football as an industry, and everything we can do to highlight it as an industry, we should do it. That's why I don't ask this for, it's not a matter of Sundowns or whatever. I said the same thing in Tunisia, because the conditions there are much worse than here. Pitches are horrible, the conditions in general are very bad, lots of synthetics and very bad synthetics, and that will never allow no one to buy a football like that. So the spectacle we have should be highlighted, brought up, make it flourish. Then the clubs, naturally the rights will be bigger, so that will bring money for the clubs, will make them wealthy or more wealthy, and according to that the level of the football will be higher, because then they can buy better players mostly, and that is how you produce a good industry in football. That's how we should be done. But pretty satisfied with what I found here. I'm very happy to be among you. Very, very happy.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
23 minutes.